Hello, Dr. Eco Freako here. In December 2009, many of these world leaders met in Copenhagen to discuss climate change and come up with an agreement to reduce carbon emissions. The talk failed to get an agreement for several reasons, but mainly because of self-interest. It went ahead of global interest. National self-interest, corporate self-interest, individual self-interest and public apathy all helped. There was also a lot of political incompetence, and the United Nations ran the climate summit really badly. The cumbersome process dithered, and eventually Obama took control of the group. It doesn't help that you elect weak governments that are unable to pass climate laws through their parliaments or senates. But the climate deal that they came up with in Copenhagen sets no global targets. And it's entirely voluntary. Each country lists the emissions they want to cut and monitors their own emissions. So there's going to be dubious claims made by governments trying to look green, but essentially it'll be business as usual. I'll pretend that you're doing something about climate change if you pretend that I am too. The politicians were more concerned with defending their national economies and the corporate interests in each national economy and their natural resources than responding to climate change. The coal tar in Canada, and the agriculture in Australia, and the oil and gas in Russia and the Middle East, forests in Brazil and Indonesia, production in China, India and the US and Europe. They were more concerned with these things than climate change. Years of work preparing for these talks were reduced to an empty political statement 2.5 pages long of purely aspirational goals. The emissions cut will have little to do with climate reduction and more to do with the political climate in each country. And there's no deadline set for reaching a formal international climate treaty.